welcome back to Midday Show. This is Vibes 97.3 FM. Still in the studio with Mr. Osayi, who is going to tell us, you said access to finance. Access to finance is easier to get than we think. So can you enlighten us on that?
Okay, for instance, I'm going to start by citing examples with what I have achieved. For instance, in 2017, I was able to access the Tony Elumelu Foundation grant of $5,000 while my business was still on paper, meaning I was yet to start, but I could access that funding. Yeah, there's a second business I operate, Echo Connect, which is a digital waste management platform. While that business was still on a document, I was able to access from one organization 500,000, from another 1,250,000, and after we started, we were also able to access $6,000. And some of these things I'm talking about, it has not only happened to my business, it has happened to a lot of people that I have worked with. And I've gone ahead to author a book I titled Funding Your Business Idea, where I chronicle some of all of those experiences and the how to. So today, if I'm to begin to extract my experiences with small businesses, I want to emphasize some of the things I have observed as the challenges that some of them face, the reason why it's difficult for them to access finance. I believe when we are able to deal with some of those challenges, we'll be able to open the door for many of them to be able to deal with the issue of access to finance. The first challenge I saw is the unwillingness within small businesses to formalize their business. You know, you're talking to somebody and you say, your business is different from you. Your business has to stand on its own. Your business has to be formalized. And how do you formalize your business? Simply registering it with Corporate Affairs Commission if you're listening from Nigeria. If you are not in Nigeria, wherever you are, there is a body responsible for formalizing businesses.
Right.
You know, because the truth is, you are not really in business until your business is formalized. For instance, I've had people run business for years, and when you want to deal with them and you say, oh, can I have your business account? And you see them send you your personal account. You know, so when you don't finalize your business, in reality, in the eyes of government, in the eyes of the world, you are not yet in business. And when you are not yet in business, then it becomes difficult to access funding to your business.
Okay.
That's one challenge. And I know that a lot of MSMEs have excuses to this. So some of the excuses that have come to me, I will also raise it. Some of them will tell you things like, when I formalize my business, I register with CAC, I begin to pay tax. But the truth of the matter is, for us in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, some of those businesses that are not formalized, that are running informally on the streets, the woman selling biscuits with a kiosk and all of that, are you telling me that the local government do not come after you to pay taxes? You're still paying. So why not do the right thing, pay the same tax and be at peace? And secondly, when you register your business, it doesn't necessarily come with tax. There are just little payments that go with having a registered business. For CAC, for instance, there's what we call the annual due. Before now, it used to be 1,000 naira a year. I'm sure an average small business can pay that. As we speak, it's 3,000 naira a year. So I don't see why you shouldn't formalize your business because you don't want to pay 3,000 naira in a year. And meanwhile, as we go down, I'm going to share with you the things you are losing because you have refused to do this. Then the other excuse people will give to you is that it's expensive. I don't even have money to start. You are telling me to go and register. But the truth of the matter is, somebody said if you say knowledge is expensive, try ignorance.
Right.
You're paying more because you have refused to do the right thing. You know, so that's that. Then the second excuse I also see with small businesses is that they operate their businesses from their personal accounts. You know, for instance, you see somebody opens a shop, he runs a business, he has a banner, he has everything outside. But when you want to pay him, he gives you Osayi Omokaro.
His own personal account.
Personal account. You
right.
pay. What they don't know is that if, for instance, you approach a bank tomorrow, I'm talking to someone who may have taken the first step to go ahead and register his business, but has refused to go ahead and open a formal business account with his company name. So such a person is still doing business using his own account. When you now approach a bank and say, I need a loan, the bank says, send me your company account, because they want to see practically how much volume you have been doing. So based on that, we can quantify how much you are qualified to get. You now say, yeah, sorry, sir, I've been doing my business using my personal account. You're disqualified. You see that some of the things we do, trying to tell ourselves that we are saving costs, we end up losing more because we are not doing things the right way. And for instance, when you are doing a business and somebody has concluded conversations with you and they say, can I have your account number? And you drop your personal account number. What you are telling that person is that you are small. And when somebody is dealing with a company, the person prices you better. But when he's dealing with an individual, he believes that he's dealing with one artisan. And nobody pays an artisan what they will pay a corporate organization. So these are the losses you incur. Even for those of us who do contracts, they will still tell you, if you are a consultant as an individual, this is what will pay you as an individual consultant. But if you are a company, as a consulting company, this is what will pay you as a consulting company. You see, dealing with a company is always better in pay. So it's advisable that you go ahead and register your business.
All right.
Another thing is that when organization says that we want to assist so and so number of women, so and so number of persons with grants, none of such organizations will ever pay such money into your personal account.
Right.
They want to pay it into your corporate account. So you could imagine if in a situation where there are opportunities. For instance, I have a session in my center. Yesterday, we were teaching on how to help young people, how to help MSMEs position their products for exports. And we're looking at uploading your products on e-commerce platforms so you can sell around the world. And we began to go practical. When we opened these portals, we began to see that some of the criteria was that you will have to impute your company accounts, your company CAC. So automatically, if you are one of those who do not have such, it means you are already disqualified. Of course, you have sat down for such a training. There are global opportunities for you to make more money, but you are losing because you have refused to formalize your business.
Okay.
So that's the second challenge I see. Then the third challenge I see for those who have gone ahead to register their business, possibly running their corporate account, a lot of persons are not ready to put in the work that is required to do business, especially those part of the work that you need to put in before you can even start. Well, in the corporate space, we call that sweat equity.
Okay.
Because you are not going to say you need money for you to develop. You have an idea to develop a concept note. What's a concept note? This is the idea I want to do. This is what we want to achieve. For instance, when I had a vision for this program, Business Insight with Osayi Tres Omokaro, I started to make my inquiries. I sat on my desk and developed a concept note that captures everything about this idea. Let me share one surprising thing. Do you know that this first quarter of this program was paid for not by me? It was somebody who called and said, what's your plan? What's happening in 2023? I said, this is one of the plans I have. He said, can I get a concept note? And in minutes, I was able to send it. And the person said, what does it cost to run the first quarter? I gave the person, not immediately, but after a while, he said, I noticed you have still not started. I said, yes, I'm trying to put things together. And he said, send me your account. So when I shared this, it looks like, it's not everybody that have access to this. But the thing is, I'm sharing with you what I did. Imagine if that person has asked and I do not have anything to show. I'm trying to talk about it. I'm struggling to understand it. The person is struggling to understand it. I remember one of my mentees, he shared an idea with me and I said, go develop a business plan. He went ahead, he developed a plan. One good thing about a business plan is that when you develop a business plan, you have been able to talk about the idea. You have been able to talk about where you're going. You have been able to talk about how you want to get there. You have been able to look at competitors. You have been able to look at pricing, and you know whether or not this business is feasible. By feasibility, I know you get to know whether this business is worth doing. When that guy was done with that document, he was having a conversation with somebody in church, and the person said, "How much do you need to start this business?" He said, "1 million naira." The person he had that conversation with was the one telling me this. He said, "I looked around to see whether any other person was hearing, because the way he presented the idea, I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want any other person to hear and take that opportunity." And that person gave him 1 million naira. The business was still on paper, but he has put in the work to do the documentation.
Preparedness for opportunities.
Yes.
Right.
So these are some of the things that I have dealt with in that book, Funding Your Business Idea. So I'm sure before the end of the program, I should be able to give our people opportunities to access that book if they are interested.
All right. You have been listening to the voice of Mr. Osayi Tres Omokaro. He is the brains behind Business Insight, which is happening live here on Vibes 97.3 FM. If you want to be a part of the show, feel free. If you have questions, feel free to call the number 070-8544-7462. I'll take the number again, 070-854-47462. Or if maybe you'd prefer to send in a WhatsApp message, you can send a WhatsApp message to the number 081-828-84091. I'll take it again, 081-828-84091. This is Business Insight with Mr. Osayi Tres Omokaro. You have been enlightening me. If you have been listening, you would know I've been writing key points or more. Everybody's trying to make money the good way and know how to save it, and basically know how to balance yourself financially. And you talked about to register and formalize your business, and you talked about how for persons to open corporate account, and talked about putting in the blueprint for your businesses, like making yourself ready for when opportunities come. Can you just continue? We've been educated.
Yeah. Okay. I can see some persons are calling the WhatsApp number. Don't call the WhatsApp number. Send a WhatsApp to the WhatsApp number 0818-288-4091.
Yeah, sending a text, please.
Yeah,
do not
a
call.
WhatsApp message. Then if you have to call at all, call 070-8544-7462. Basically, like I had a session online one time. I said, nobody will fund a business you do not own. You say, I have an idea. Yes, ideas come from God. And when God envisions an idea and entrusts it to one of his children, his goal is for you to implement that idea so he can better the world. When you are dilly-dallying with it and not doing what you're supposed to do with that idea, you are shortchanging God. So when God gives you an idea, at the same time, he gives that same idea to a lot of persons. So when you don't begin to put in the work to package and position that idea to be implemented and impact what God wants to impact, before you know it, you walk around the street and you're going to see somebody doing exactly the things you had the idea of doing and you never did. So our conversation today is that when you have an idea, first put in what we call the sweat equity, put in the work to first of all go ahead and just put it in a one-page concept note. It's called a concept note, where you just pour the idea out as raw as you have it. Then, of course, you can study online, get templates online, or you can call people like us to guide you in putting it into a business plan.
Okay.
Then, for instance, there's what is called the elevator pitch, which is a 30 seconds to 1 minute conversation about your business. We call the elevator pitch the way it is called because you're looking at a scenario, for instance, where you are opportune to be with the richest man on a lift, and the richest man is going to leave in the next 30 seconds to 1 minute. What is it about that idea that you have that you will tell that man, and the man will turn back and give you his card and say, we need to talk about this? So that's something that you need to have developed, taking time to rehearse it and you master it. And there are processes and procedures to doing that. So each time you talk to somebody about an idea, the person is wondering, if I don't put money in this idea, I may be the loser. Because I used to tell people in every conversation I have that the person who thinks that an idea is solid is the person to fund it. And majority of the time, we happen to see that the one who owns the idea is almost the only person that thinks that the idea is great. So if you are not able to pass that passion you have for that idea to somebody else, you find it difficult to get somebody to fund you.
True.
So that's it. For instance, I am well knitted with the business ecosystem in Edo State. And I know that the government of Edo State is in partnership with Bank of Industry, and all that, to give funding to MSMEs. But the challenge is that very few persons are qualified to access these funds. But you see majority complaining. As simple as some of these things we have talked about are the things that have been put in place. Because I used to tell people, I had worked in the bank. I have 6 years, 6 months, 25 days experience working in the bank. And I know that while we were in the bank, bankers get on their vehicle to go and appeal to some businesses to come and take loan. While some persons come to the same bank begging for loans and they don't give them. What's the difference? Some persons are proven doing all of this. They are proven that giving me loan is to your benefit as a bank.
Investing in me is in your benefit.
So that's what we think, that if every MSMEs are able to position themselves in a way that investors think that putting my money on this person is better off for me than keeping it somewhere, then you begin to attract funding. So I think that's it.
All right. If you want to personally reach out to Mr. Osayi, the number to call is 070-854-47462. I'll call it again, 070-854-47462. Or would you rather a WhatsApp message? This is the number, 081-828-84091. Again, 081-828-84091. So far, so good, Mr. Osayi. People that you have mentored, would you say you have done a splendid job with the outcome?
Yeah, for me, I think that the people you work with, based on their experience with you, will eventually give you a name. That's why the people call me the father of startups. Because I practically told myself that this is what I want to do with my life. My goal is to see how I can make everybody who think about making impact through business be able to do it professionally and make the necessary impact positively and profitably. Positively on the society and profitably for themselves.
You. Right. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Osayi, we live in the computer age, right? And people prefer seeing is believing. Do you probably have like a social media account where we can go to see things that you have done in the past? Because people just don't trust easily nowadays.
I understand that. I understand that. At the moment, first of all, my Instagram handle, we are live on Instagram at the moment. My Instagram handle is just at Trescaro. Basically, all of my social media platform is at Trescaro.
Can you spell the Trescaro?
Trescaro. That's personal. But if you want to follow my business handles, is same Trescaro Systems.
Trescaro Systems. Double S with an S at the end.
Systems, yes. With an S at the end. Trescaro Systems on all social media platforms. What we are doing now is live on Instagram. So you can follow our Instagram handle and it's going to remain there. Then what we're also doing now, we're going to ensure that we put a replay on our YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/Osayi Tres Omokaro.
Okay, so as I stated before, if you want to have a one-on-one conversation with Mr. Osayi Tres Omokaro, who has been enlightening us in business insight here on Vibes 97.3 FM, you can call him with the number 070-854-47462 or you could send him a WhatsApp message to the number 081 828 84091. Mr. Osayi, is there any last words you want to give to the people listening?
Okay, my people, I want to tell you that there are more organizations available to fund businesses than there are viable businesses willing to access such funding. Each time I say this, I happen to almost be alone, because a lot of people will say, we need the money. It's not about you saying I need the money. That's why I use the word viable businesses. If you are packaged your business in a format that proves to the organizations that you are viable, they will look after you. Before I wrap this up, I shared my experience working in the bank. Bankers are punished because they have a lot of money to give out that they did not give out. But they are also punished when they give out the loans and they can't recover it. So the reason they will not give you that need it is because you have not proven to them that giving it to you is safe.
Profitable.
So they rather face the punishment of you have
the money
you have
themselves.
a billion naira on your cover and you're not giving out enough. They rather face that kind of punishment than to face the punishment of giving you the money and not recover it. So make yourself viable. Let the business world understand that investing in me is profitable to you and the environment, and you access all the funding you need.
Okay, there you have it. Thank you so much, Mr. Osayi, for stopping by at the studio. I hope you listening have been enlightened. Mr. Osayi, I hope you do have a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Please do well to follow our Instagram handle at Trescaro. Watch our videos on YouTube at Osayi Tres Omokaro. The pleasure is always mine. Thank you.